What's up, horror fans? Pete here from the Lassercast, where my good friend over there, Danny Torkel, Dr. Zayas God, discuss horror movies and streaming shows. Whether it's Dan under the fan or Pete in the street, we might not agree on the movie Keeper, but we definitely fucking love Predator Badlands. So today, we're just gonna gush about this movie. You sit back and relax, leave a comment, let us know what you think. Danny, say one good thing about Predator Badlands right now. Get
Uh,
the ball rolling.
I'm actually just here to hear you pronounce the actor's name who played the Predator.
Oh no.
uh,
Oh no. I, I yeah, go ahead.
all jokes aside, I walked out of this movie. At this point, I feel like I saw it so long ago.
Yeah.
Even though I think it only came out like 10 days ago. I don't know. My my mind is a flat circle. Time is a flat circle. Whatever. Uh, I posted a short on the Lassercast right from my car after I saw that movie, and I said I expected to like it. I didn't expect this to be one of my favorite movies of the year. Uh, and I am still kind of weirdly shocked at how much I loved it.
Yep.
Um, and I also am just so excited for what potentially can come from this because I think when Dan Trachtenberg took over the Predator franchise with Prey, I think a lot of people walked out of Prey or finished watching it on Hulu, and their reaction was, "Who's the Predator going to fight next?" Uh,
Right.
and everybody was coming up with different human beings. I want a predator to fight the samurai in Japan. I want the predator to be dropped into, World War II. I want the predator to be dropped into all of these. And my entire reaction to that was no. I don't want the predator to fight humans anymore. I want
Right.
the predator to fight giant monsters. Uh, and it goes back to the scene in Predator 2 where Danny Glover goes onto that ship and we first see the alien xenomorph skull on the wall. And there's a giant, like, Tyrannosaurus Rex skull on the wall. And you're like, holy shit, these creatures have been fighting monsters all over the galaxy for thousands, millions of years.
Right.
And this movie was predators, a predator fighting other predators, a predator fighting giant monsters, and predators fighting against Wayland Yutani synths.
Yeah.
Which the other thing I mentioned in my short review was this was a not so secret Alien versus Predator movie, or maybe Dan Trachtenberg's Alien versus Predator prequel. And I know I love AVP more than almost anyone that I talk to. You, Brian, Chris, you all have it very low on your rankings. You did a Pete on the Street. You asked for the whole 16 Predator Alien Universe rankings, and I think Alien versus Predator is in my top 5 of those franchises. It's,
Yeah.
Alien and Aliens, it's Predator and Predator 2, and then I think it's probably AVP. Right up there. Well, it was at least before I saw Predator Badlands. Or
Yeah.
maybe it was like right after Prey. But I genuinely love, I get a ton of amusement out of the first Alien versus Predator. And I
Right.
remember how disappointed I was at Requiem because of how dark and soulless it was, literally.
Yes.
And I still think there's a lot of money to be made. Alien Earth, a show that we covered on this channel,
Yeah.
just got re-upped for a second season. Noah Hawley is coming back. So The Alien universe is alive and well. This is a second consecutive live action Predator movie that is doing gangbusters. This is now, I believe, it's the highest grossing theatrical Predator movie of all time.
Wow.
I think I read that today. I think it officially beat Predators and the Predator and the original Predator to be the highest grossing theatrical Predator movie. And just like we gushed about Noah Hawley in our Alien Earth reviews and how we have so much confidence in where that show is going, even in the episodes that we weren't 100% on, we were like, well, we trust the process because it's
Yeah.
Noah Hawley is driving the ship.
Right.
That's how I am all in on any anything Dan Trachtenberg does in the Predator universe. Killer of Killers was fun. If not, I felt a tad disposable, but you know, sitting at home watching it on Hulu or whatever channel it came up on, Prey was awesome and felt fresh, and Predator Badlands may have been my favorite movie of the year.
Oh boy. Okay. All right. All right. Well, as usual, you dropped your sack on the table, and there's a lot to unpack from your sack. But I'm going to do that now. You kind of did a little mini thesis there. I want to do my thesis. You said your second favorite movie out of those 16 movies was.
Oh, I don't know. It's Aliens, and Predator.
Right.
1987 Predator. Those three movies, it's like one, two, three, and then there's a massive gap, and then I don't know what goes in the four slot. Maybe Predator Badlands, maybe Prey, maybe AVP. It's those three movies kind of circle there.
Yes, yes. Well, I want you to stick this thought into your slot right now, okay? Here's the idea. This movie is rated PG-13. It's rated PG-13 because about all the things you said the Predator fought, he did not fight a human at all. There's no human deaths in this entire movie. There's androids, there's predators that get killed, there's creatures that get killed. This movie is an adventure movie. And when you go back and watch the other Predator movies after you get so excited after watching this one, you sit there and you think, this movie's so fucking different. It's so fucking different in like tone and feeling than all the rest of the Predator movies. I saw one guy, he beat me to the punch. He posted on social media. He said, Predator Badlands is a Star Wars movie and it's doing a better job than Star Wars. And that's what
Uh,
this is.
I think it's very ironic and maybe coincidental that I saw the first theatrical trailer for The Mandalorian and Grogu right before Predator Badlands because there is when they introduce a character who we could just talk about it, Bud. When they introduced Bud, I started to think as I like literally as I'm watching the movie, I almost did like a a deep dive into my own psyche because I'm thinking to myself as I'm watching the movie, there was a time in my life where I would fucking hate this. And
Right.
and instead I was smiling and I was just enjoying myself. And I will say, and I didn't mention this yet, I saw this in 4DX and I had a fucking blast. And I I'm so embarrassed at how much fun I had in a 4DX movie theater. I was like, imagine like the first time you ever went on a roller coaster where you actually enjoy it, where it's not like the fear of death and you're crying because you don't want to be there, but like you're enjoying every bump and every zip and zap of the roller coaster. That's what I felt like. And I don't know if you've ever been in a 4DX theater, but it's like the fans are blowing on you. When something explodes, there's steam coming out of the theater. I know you're going to I know you're going to love what I'm about to say, but they squirt you in the face with water uh
Yeah.
whenever there's like puddles and shots in like the river and in the water, they like spray you with like, and you can actually turn the water off. There's like buttons that say like water on, water off. And I was sitting by myself and I just kept turning to my left and right. And there's like families that are like bouncing up and down. The popcorn's flying all over the place. I'm like, this is, you said it, it's an adventure movie. And I felt like I was in it because of the 4D. I'm like selling the 4DX experience. I have
Yes.
Regal Unlimited, so I did not pay $30 to see the movie.
Right.
I only paid like, I think it was like $9 on top of my, free ticket.
Yeah.
But I would have paid $30 for that experience to see this movie because it was the perfect movie for that type of theater going experience. And I guess I was like having like those childlike moments where like there's a cute little sidekick inserted in the movie, and instead of being like, oh, they fucking did this to the Predator franchise, I was like,
Right.
that's awesome. And part
Right.
of me, I swear to God, the whole movie, I was like, they're totally gonna turn the Calisk into something that's he's gonna end up joining forces with the Calisk at the end. It's like
Yeah.
something, and I just I loved every minute of this movie from beginning to end, and I loved Elle Fanning. I thought every interaction between her and
Yeah.
between her and Deck was fantastic. I thought it was
Yeah.
funny. I thought, you know, even like the little joke about how she's talking to him with the subtitles, and then she clicks into English and she goes, now I'm using universal translation, and it's like, oh, that's cute because now you can get around using the subtitles for every character, which I'm sure people were, because Deck, he talks, but he barely says more than one sentence at a time dialogue.
Right.
Um, I thought, 40 years into the franchise or whatever it is, 38 years into the franchise, finally flipping it to have the Predator be the main protagonist of the movie. I know, again, Alien versus Predator. You have, the Predator joins forces with Sanaa Lathan to fight the Alien Queen at the end, but the Predators are still killing people in that movie. I just, yeah, I'm still kind of in shock at how gleeful I felt watching that movie.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, Dan Trachtenberg, I've seen a lot of interviews with him in the past few weeks. A lot of people ask him a lot of questions. Where does this movie fall in the timeline of the Alien and Predator movies? One of the things that he was talking about was how he had an idea for three different Predator movies. One was Killer of Killers. This is all after Prey. One was Killer of Killers. One was this movie. And then there's a third movie that he said he doesn't think he's ever seen that in a science fiction movie before. So I don't know what kind of movie he's thinking of for the next installment in the Predator franchise, but I am all on board. Like you mentioned how you would watch this at one point in your life and be like, oh, this sucks or this is so stupid. I had like little feelings of that. Maybe it was the 4D. I don't know. The Predator's mandibles were tickling my asshole or something. But I was having that feeling of like, oh, there's like going to be like a cute creature in here now. But I've seen this movie fucking twice, and I fucking love everything about this movie. And what they do with that creature, Bud, and then have its relationship to the Callus by the end. It's great. It works so well. Like this movie, it does a lot of things really well, and that's why we're both talking about it with such praise. Like you have a main character who is an underdog, which automatically smart decision, right? I mean, a lot of people make that decision when they make a movie, but he is the runt of his clan, right? He's small. He's pretty much the same size as Elle Fanning when they're standing next to each other. So he's small for a predator, right? Then you have amazing, amazing music. Like this movie was filmed in New Zealand, and
They
there's a
used
couple of
the
shots.
Who, right?
What's that?
The music wasn't the music done by the Who?
Oh,
HU?
I sure. Well, yeah. Whoever
I
fucking did
I
it.
I should
Yeah.
Google that. If but I'm pretty sure because they're a band that I only know because they came up on my Pandora station a lot. And then
Yeah,
they opened for Iron Maiden when Iron
there you
Maiden
go.
was touring. Um, but I think they did some of the music and the score for this movie because they
Yeah,
have a lot of music that it feels native and like tribal, like thumping music, and it's great. It's like really good, like the kind of music you want to like fucking work out to.
yeah,
Yeah, it was
yeah.
great.
No, I mean, I get it because besides that kind of music, it also has this sort of like soulful, emotional music, where the characters are kind of bonding together. There's a couple of moments of like characters quietly, without any dialogue spoken, bonding with each other, and this music is playing. And there's music like that playing when they're just crossing the countryside, which, like I was saying before, it was filmed in New Zealand. It just feels completely different from a Predator movie. Every single Predator movie, even if it involves xenomorphs, kind of follows the same kind of formula, where you're following these human protagonists and they're badasses in some form, and they realize they're being hunted by something. They encounter it, then they realize they're completely outmatched. It picks them off real quickly, and then by the end, you have like one or two survivors taking this thing on, and it's much more hand to hand by the very end of the movie. There's nothing like this. Like Patrick Willems just released a movie on legacy sequels, and he released a YouTube video. I'm sorry, and it's funny because we just live in this film culture now where everything is an established property, everything is a sequel of a sequel. There's prequels, there's re-envisionings, and it's like they always have to have these fucking like, let's hit that same beat, let's throw in the Easter eggs. This movie, I'm sure, has a ton of Easter eggs because Dan Trachtenberg is clearly a massive Predator fan. But this is one of the best examples of not fucking hitting your audience over the head with Easter eggs. Not stopping the movie to be like, see, oh look, there's that thing, there's that thing. It's not that. It's just you're in the fucking Predator world. This is what it's like, and we're gonna tell this unique story about this character. I think it's fucking great. When we make our top 10 for this year, it's gonna be on there. I mean, I think we should
Oh,
kind of go. Go ahead, go ahead.
oh no, I was gonna say like right now it's like that and Sinners. That's my list right
Oh,
now. Like
Jesus
I
Christ! Sinners came out this year.
yeah.
Oh my God, 2025 has been a fucking crazy year for me, man. Holy shit.
Yeah, I as far as horror movies go, I'm like struggling to think about a top 10 right now. I think like there's probably 5 to 6 movies that are uh in contention. Um there's a few movies that I saw that I really enjoyed. Uh
Yeah,
but like usually by this point I've seen like 5 movies that I'm like, that's it. That's like my number one. Like, I'm wearing my Substance shirt. Like, the minute I saw the Substance, I was like, that's my number one movie of the year, let alone horror. I don't know
yeah,
what else. And then I had to like fill in numbers 2 through 10. But I felt like it was a good year. This year, I don't know. It's kind of been up in the air. Like, not to get sidetracked, but I fully walked into Keeper expecting it to be a top 10 movie, and it did not come out that way. So I don't know. I feel like I felt like that about several movies that I've seen this year, where I was like, oh, I hope this is going to be really good, and then I've been like, it's fine.
yeah, yeah. Dude, I'm still kind of dealing with the fact that Sinners came out this year. That's kind of crazy. I mean, I still have to see so much stuff, but regardless, it's gonna take a lot to trump this one. Oh, I hate to say that. But like this movie, my criteria for liking a movie. It's when I'm watching it again and there's a cat's legs in my face. There's scenes where it's like, okay, oh, this scene's coming up. I love this fucking scene. When I saw it a second time, I was like, oh shit, this scene's coming up. I love this fucking scene. Like the very beginning of it, I was just hooked by the very beginning of it. The very beginning of the movie is this shot where you're looking through like a canyon, and the rocks, the way it's formed, it's almost like an eye, and you're looking through this eye, basically this predator landscape of Yautja Prime. And when I saw it, it had this like crazy fucking sound. I don't know if they use that in the 4D, but it has this amazing sound where like it was just all around you and oppressive. Like the movie, it's like so brutal, but yet it's so like just kind of like filled with wonder and fun. It feels like an 80s movie that we watched as a kid. Like it kind of reminded me of like did you ever see Enemy Mine? Do you know what I'm
Oh
talking about?
yeah,
I
yeah.
fucking love Enemy Mine. I saw that as a kid. It's like that kind of movie, like a kind of like a sci-fi epic where it could be kind of brutal and mean. That's what this is, but it's
It it
using the predator.
Yeah, it feels like it could have been, if this was Earth, it could have been almost like a Conan
Yeah,
movie where, like,
right.
instead of a Yautja predator, it's a human, runt of the litter. Okay, obviously, bad analogy with Schwarzenegger, but like, runt of the litter who's kicked out of his clan and has to, go to a planet or go into like the Forbidden Zone and fight off the, special effect monsters. Like that could have been a movie from 1985. Like it very easily could have.
Yeah,
And yeah, but to your point, I felt like this movie just, it hooks you right away. Like before you even have time to breathe, it's like there's this epic fight
yeah,
between Deck and his brother where they're like it's like he's trying to win his cloak, which obviously is like, the predator cloaking device, which I thought was like a really cool way to like establish. Like the movie did so much to just establish little things. Like uh, you mentioned like the legacy sequel thing. This movie could have very easily been like a, oh, Han, who are you with? Nobody? I'll call you Solo.
uh,
uh, oh, what's that little thing that hangs around the Millennium Falcon that 12 really big Star Wars nerds identified?
right.
Let's do a subplot about that thing. Um, you know, it could have done that, but it drops in like the I'm trying to win my cloak. They don't call it my cloaking device, it's his cloak,
Right.
which I thought was really cool. uh just the idea of like it almost felt like the movie 300 where the father views Deck as like the runt who needs to be disposed of, and it's like, oh, you'll never be a true Yautja, we have to kill you. And
Yeah.
so, and they establish all of this kind of like, they just kind of touch on the lore without spending too much time on it.
Right.
The other thing that I loved in this movie, and I think it's part of why I never got annoyed at like the cuteness of like the almost like the gathering a group of friends kind of thing about it, the Star Wars side quest movie parts of it, was that Deck never compromised who Deck was. Um, he has a predator logic for everything that he does.
Right.
Um, like he doesn't ever. I'm and correct me if I'm wrong because you saw it twice. I don't know if he ever refers to anybody as his friend. Does
No.
he?
I mean, he calls himself a wolf and he's like protecting his pack, right?
Yes. So it's like everything about Deck as a character is part of Yautja culture, where he accepts Elle Fanning's help, not because she's a friend, because she's a tool, and he's allowed to use tools. He She teaches him about wolves and how, wolves are hunters, but they guard the pack. So he doesn't gather a group of friends who he loves. He now views himself as the pack leader, like the alpha wolf who has to guard his pack. And I loved that aspect of it so much because what I really didn't want is like where the predator becomes like a cute good guy, you
Right.
know,
Right.
and I felt they towed that line and then
Yep.
they made sure never to cross deck into like, you know, like even like the thing about like when he spits on Bud, like that was like great. He doesn't pick him up and give him a hug. It's like I accept you as like a member of my clan. It's
Right.
like I,
Yeah.
I love that stuff, and I felt like there's a line that Dan Trachtenberg is walking where he's like, I'm about to get a little cute, but I'm not gonna turn this into a kid movie. I'm gonna
Right.
make this. Um, I watch Movie Bob reviews all the time. I'm a big fan of Movie Bob, and I find that him and I end up agreeing a lot. I make sure
Right.
not to watch his videos until after I do my short reviews. And then after I do my short reviews, I watch his videos, and I'm like, how much did we agree on this movie? And he made the point of like, I didn't even want this movie to exist. I didn't need to know about the background. I didn't need the Predator as a good guy. But if you're going to make this movie, this is the greatest possible outcome of that.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then, and the other thing he said was, and you mentioned this at the beginning, it's PG-13 because he doesn't kill any humans. This is the most violent PG-13 movie you could ever get because they viciously kill human-like robots.
Right.
Like they do graphic rated R violence, and the only reason it's acceptable is because they're synthetic humanoids and they're
Right.
not. And so, like, it's the old thing of like the blood isn't red, so it's not, so it's okay.
Right.
Uh,
Right.
and so it's like you see like the alien android white blood like that we think of with Bishop in the aliens uh and there's just so much of it though. And
Right. Right. Yeah. I mean, Elle Fanning, I think people know from the trailers, but she is severed in half. Uh, what is her name? Thera or Theria?
uh yeah, she's Thera, or Thira, Thera.
Thera, whatever. And then, so we'll just call her Elle Fanning, and the other one is fuck, I forgot the other one's name. But whatever. There's two Elle Fannings. One of them, who's the good one, is split in half for the majority of the movie, but she's reunited with her legs by the end.
I
And
think
there's a couple.
Thera, yeah, that sounds right.
Okay, like the stuff that she does with her legs is like a little bit over the top. It's sort of stretching it a little bit, but it's still fun. And I mean, like, there's one part where her leg like helps lower a guy onto like a hammer or some kind of like spiked thing, so that it goes like through his head. There's one part where like the deck like just steps on an android's face and just shatters his face. Obviously because they're robots, it's okay. I mean, Transformers has been doing this since I was a kid, where they can just like brutally slaughter someone, but it's like, hey, it's a kid show. That was what this movie was like. But like, it's like that's just one aspect of what makes this so good. Like, there's this whole brutal aspect with the father too. Deck's father is a real bastard. He has this bonding moment with his brother in the beginning of the movie where the brother's saying, okay, you have to go do this hunt and try to prove your worth to our family. And then the father shows up before Deck could go to this like worst planet ever. And the father, seeing that the brother is letting him get away, the father's like, okay, well, you're letting weakness continue to live. I'm going to kill you. And he goes and he severs his brother's arm. He like chops off his brother's head, right? Like, this is a father doing it to their child. It's like the greatest example of like toxic masculinity. It's like, fascism to its like fullest extent, survival of the fittest, right? The most aggro kind of thing you could do. And that's what the predator culture represents. And it's not unlike Peacemaker, where he comes from this sort of like twisted background. He's a violent character and he has to kind of go against that to be a better person. I just fucking loved it. I mean, one of the little details I love, since we're talking about the brother getting slaughtered, is that when the brother fights the dad to kind of help Deck get away, he's got controls of the ship on his hand. The dad cuts his fucking arm off. He actually is able to pick up his arm and push the button to launch the ship on his severed arm. I fucking love that little detail. I don't think I noticed it the first time, but you know, it's like you could do this kind of brutal thing because none of the creatures are human, and so you feel the effects of the violence, but yet it's not as disturbing as watching the predator kill humans. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just I I love how the movie was paced.
Yeah.
You go from that whole opening scene, with the brother, their fight with the father, with that fight, and Dick uh escaping or taking off. That is what, 15 minutes, 20 minutes maybe, and then he's dropped into this world, and it's like instantaneously there are crazy threats all around, and it's like there's like we saw it in the preview, this like tree monster that attacks, like it has all these tentacles, but it's just like the branches of the trees that are going after him. um there's all of these other, there's the creature from above, that's flying overhead.
Yeah. The
uh
big vagina thing. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah.
That looked very Lovecraftian, and does have tentacles. So it's like there's all of these, and it's like, and again, it's like that's what I wanted when Prey was over. I was like, that is the movie I was hoping for. Of we're getting to see the Predator hunt. The Predator is going big game hunting. He Deck sets out to go after this like almost mythical creature on the Yautja homeworld, the Kalisk. It's like the only monster that they fear. It can't be killed, and every predator that's ever gone after it has been killed in the process. And it's like that's what I wanted. I don't need to see him fight samurai. I don't
Right.
need to see him fight. When you look at what Deck goes through in this movie, you think about all the other predators. It's like, are humans that much of a challenge?
Yeah. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean,
Or
the
maybe the
predator
other predators.
wipes out. Think about the first movie. The predator wipes out everyone so easily, and really, if it wanted to have killed Arnold, it probably could have. It was very obviously, you know, kind of, I guess it was fighting down to, it's like in sports, you play down to your competition. It like, takes off the mask, takes off its weapons. It's like, I'll fight you man on man. And like, if you would have just left that stuff on, you could have just zapped him and killed him immediately.
Yeah.
Um, it in Predator 2, again, like he wipes out every criminal in Los Angeles. Predators, it's like they round up the worst human beings on the planet, or the most dangerous human beings, and they just kill them off instantly, and until there's one left. It it just feels like humans are not enough of a threat anymore, especially when we get another awesome shot. Did you notice the Independence Day monster skull is
Yeah.
on the wall? And
Yeah.
and again, I walked out of here, and my first thought is, oh my God, we're going to get a legitimately great Alien versus Predator movie. It has to happen. You don't do this. You don't do. Dan Trachtenberg is a smart person. I
Right.
have to imagine he's a smart person. You don't do this movie with Wayland Yutani characters if you're not planning an Alien versus Predator movie, and if you're not planning on making it really fucking good. I refuse to believe that he just decided, hey, the fans will think it's cool if I throw Wayland Yutani in there. No, every fan is going to be like me, and they're going to be like, oh shit, they're doing Alien versus Predator.
Right.
And so I feel like I can't believe it's 2025. and we have
Right.
had amazing Alien and Predator content
Yeah.
in 2025. Like, we are 40 uh 43 years. No, what am I don't even know. I can't add. 20, what's 21 and 25? Uh 46.
6.
We're 46 years from Ridley Scott's Alien, and we're 38 years from John McTiernan's Predator. And in 2025, we got a really great overall TV show of Alien, which
Right.
had one of the best episodes I ever saw
Right.
on TV.
Right.
And we then got this movie. So, to your point earlier about how everything that comes out is a franchise or a legacy sequel or a, requel or a remake, these two franchises appear to be unkillable and are better than they've been in years.
Yeah.
So, and again, you trust the process. Noah Hawley, Dan Trachtenberg.
Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of funny because I think that Disney has sort of run Star Wars into the ground. They took this thing that was like such a huge cultural juggernaut. And I'm not even saying this like an angry fanboy. Like, I love Star Wars, and there's things in the Disney Star Wars canon that I like a lot. But I don't really think people are that excited about Star Wars right now. They're excited about Predator and Alien, and that is good for me because I love both those fucking franchises. It
Disney has basically killed Star Wars for me, and they've killed Marvel as far as the shows for me. It's going to take a lot for me to sit down. I'm so far behind on MCU shows. I'm so far behind on Star Wars shows that
yeah,
I genuinely feel like it's just easier to quit and
yeah,
love the stuff that I love and go
right,
back and revisit the stuff that I love. Which I think the problem for me, especially with Star Wars, is that the only thing that I really love is the original trilogy. Everything else has some things,
yeah,
couple moments, some exciting special effects, great fights. But the only thing I ever loved in Star Wars is that original trilogy and like the 80s TV Ewoks movies because I was a kid and I loved them.
yeah,
I could watch Battle for Endor tomorrow. But
right,
and the MCU for me was always about the movies, and the TV shows very quickly started to feel like homework.
yeah,
Disney has not done that so far with the Alien franchise.
yeah,
I think again they handed it over to the right person, and I think that's where it boils down to. I think if you give this stuff to the right people, it. I mean, look, we haven't had a Predator TV show yet. If Predator Badlands, if they approached Trachtenberg and they were like, "Hey, how about instead of doing an Alien versus Predator movie, we gave you, um, you know, 8 episodes, 8 1-hour episodes of the adventures of Deck and Friends," I'd probably be bored out of my fucking mind by episode 3.
right,
And
right, right.
so maybe the fact that we don't have that right now is what is keeping these properties so exciting and also they're just doing new things. Like
Yep.
I know I haven't watched Andor, but Andor is the show that if I was going to watch anything Star Wars, I would go back and watch Andor because what is the thing I hear the most about Andor? It's the most non-Star Wars stuff that Star Wars has ever done.
Right,
Uh,
right,
and it also leads up to a movie that I actually really liked in Rogue One. And that
right,
I've already seen, so I don't have to do like additional homework.
right.
Um, you know, all the other Star Wars stuff is stuff that I feel like I've seen before with characters who I know. And the MCU is the same thing. It's like I don't need another 8 episodes of Loki. I don't need another I don't need you to, take this F tier superhero and give me 8 episodes of them. And I'm
Right.
sure Ironheart and Echo and Moon Knight. I actually watched Moon Knight. God forbid you asked me to remember a single fucking thing about that show.
Yeah.
But that's my point. Whereas I walked out of this movie so happy, so excited because I was seeing something absolutely brand new.
Yeah.
And I walked out of Alien Earth and I had my issues with Alien Earth, but we got something that was really refreshing for a franchise that is 46 years old.
Yeah. Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
So keep giving me more of this type of stuff and uh I won't complain about franchise fatigue.
Okay. Okay. Well, we'll see how it all goes down. I hope that Dan Trachtenberg gets to make this third project that he was hinting at in his interviews, But what do you call it? I think that sounds like you kind of brought this all to a close right there. Is there anything else you want to say about this movie?
I really want you to pronounce the guy's name.
Okay, well, that's how bad of a host I am. I can't remember what his name is. I didn't write it down or anything. Do you
Oh,
want to
I
try?
did. Demetrius Schuster Kolomatangi.
Ooh, Kolomatangi. Very nice. Yeah,
I
he's
don't
a
know
really
if
cool guy.
that.
What's that?
I don't know if that's how you pronounce it. I know that they CGI'd the face, like the facial, so he didn't have to worry about doing prosthesis work on the face or having I don't know, puppeteers work or robotic things going off. But he did the physical acting of that character, I thought, really, really well. And he carried that movie literally on his back at points.
Yes, yes, yes. Yeah, I've seen him in the Get Up, and he's great. I saw him in interviews. He was speaking the Predator language, the Yautja language. Like he seemed really into it too. That's what you have with at least Dan Trachtenberg. It's like this love of the Predator, a love of the lore, and you could really feel it in this movie. I'm excited about where this franchise is going to go from here because this was just fucking great.
Yeah.
So, speaking of our franchise with our, 70 something views or whatever, what do we got coming up on our channel, Mr. Torkel?
We are covering 2 other shows. We have Welcome to Derry, and we have the Talamasca, The Secret Order. We're covering both of those. Welcome to Derry's on HBO Max. We're about to review episode 4 of that show. And the Talamasca, we have 2 episodes up. We are going to do a review of episodes 4 and 5 later this week. And other than that, we have a bunch of YouTube shorts, movie reviews, Pete's on the Street, Stand Under the Fan. If you go back almost exactly a month, I have all my Comic-Con stuff, all of my Brooklyn Horror Film Festival reviews. You can check all of those out on the channel.
Fuck yeah, fuck yeah. And then, eventually Danny and I are going to have a real civil discussion about the movie Keeper. So, looking forward to
We
that
always
one.
have civil discussions, even when we disagree.
Yes, yes. But I'm looking forward to that one. That's coming up soon this week as well. So make sure you subscribe to the Lastercast and get your mandibles out because we're about to talk about it. Welcome to Derry. We'll see you.